Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. In front of you, we are all very small. We are learning every day, and from morning I have been learning. I'm basically challenged here because most of you are and all of you are experts in horticulture. I'm I'm not so much expert, but would like to just take you to some other arena of horticulture, like any other system, is challenged by the climate change, and also some other opportunities of community plantation. Probably would just very briefly I will try to put you in front of you. All these things are well known that climate extremes are increasingly increasing, and they will be increasing in future. And the horti systems are very sensitive, though the trees look very robust, but they are very sensitive. If any stress factors are coinciding with the critical stages, you tend to, or the grower tend to lose for multiple years. And horticulture systems also contribute to climate change. Why? Because more and more pesticides are being used, more and more urea is being used in horticulture systems. Production increase, and therefore nitrous oxide emissions and other things. So there is a balance we need to talk about, and energy use in horticulture systems also is more. Therefore, horticulture systems are also contributing to climate change, partially, if not largely. But at the same time, they are also big answers to climate resilience. One is that carbon sequestration everybody talks about, but also farmers get higher income if you are growing the horticultural crops. So when you just look at the what holds for India in future, we analyzed some of the global climate model as well as regional climate model scenarios, and we find that there is around 50 plus climate models data synthesis in our lab, and we find that the minimum temperatures are going to rise, then the rise in the maximum temperatures, rise in the temperatures to be more during the Rabi season, that is the winter season, then rise during the Kharif season. You are having the more rise in the northern part of India as compared to already hot southern part of India, and rainfall variability is going to increase. Rainfall per se is going to increase, but it's not a good news. Apart from that, you are having many hailstorms, cold waves, heat waves, and so on, so on, so on, which we are facing more frequently nowadays, and this frequency is going to increase even more. Uh, and these challenge the uh, crop production. So now, when you talk about horticultural system, they are all impacted in different means. So now we cannot just say that everything is negative, negative, and negative. For example, some place, if it is your temperatures are suboptimal for that particular system or particular crop or particular variety, if the temperatures are moving towards the optimal, definitely they will benefit. But the interactions are there, where the water is available, whether the wind is suitable or heavy winds are coming, and hailstorms are going to happen, and so on and so forth. So it's a very complex analysis, one has to work on that. uh, we see a lot of impacts are going to happen, and largely we see the impacts are going to be negative, and therefore the attention comes to climate change, climate resilience. uh, when we talk about the community environmental horticulture, there are different systems. You are the experts what it means, but I just try to put it in mini ecosystems and macro ecosystems. Mini, we talk morning, we had nice presentations on rooftop, to even coming to university campuses and all. Macro ecosystems, it's like big ecosystems, commercial based farmings, and so on and so forth. So when we grow the plants, when we talk about rejuvenating or bringing out the degraded lands back, or wastelands, how best we can utilize. They are really wasted lands, not the wastelands. Similarly, we waste lot of our own resources. In India, I was just searching how many type of fruit trees may be available. More than 800, and some of you may be knowing even a better figure than what I am knowing, because every place, if you see, they are having rich rich biodiversity. We lost all, or we are, if not we lost all, we are marginalizing them, eventually pushing them to lose their place in the plate. Already it is gone, but on the even in community places also. For example, as a child, I used to eat the Pithecalobium delci, that aerial. So, I mean, I'm not a student of, or I'm not a big fan of taxonomy, but I wanted to know what is the scientific name, because it may not be available everywhere. And it's having a lot of nutritional properties. Now, schools, we don't find that. So, I thought I will focus on children because they are the most needy. And I also thought I will focus on the where we can target the children, not through, probably not through kitchen gardens, mostly through schools. So I made a quick analysis so that from CFI, if we are targeting the schools of India, we can make a big and direct impact. May not be commercially, but it will be making a young generation of India, which is more healthy. So when we are talking about uh, these are some of the numbers, only 2.5% of the household food expenditure is on fruits. So it is affordability is another a big challenge here. When we go the any tree, we have several benefits. Most of us know it, but quantification is a big challenge. Scientifically quantified information which can be sort of tangible, and we can tell that yes, this is what is happening, is very rare. Otherwise, generally it is told oxygen is evolved by any photosynthetic system, but how much? So I was looking again at the literature. It tells that daytime maximum air temperatures reduce anywhere between 3.1 to 5.8 degrees centigrade, and we experience that in our Pusa campus where you are here. When we in the hot summer, when we come inside, suddenly it cools. I mean, we feel it is cooler. During winter also we feel so, but the night temperatures, they are slightly warmer. So there are a lot of buffering is happening, and the trees with high leaf area index have, and wide canopies have associated with the most significant cooling, because more evapotranspirational losses. Uh, it is also, we know that oxygen is evolved. Human takes around 550 liters of oxygen per day on an average, and trees produce a lot. The quantities are confusing. I've seen the literature, but it is a wide range based on, I can understand, it is based on the age, type, and where it is grown. And it also allows to modify the microclimate. So now when you are having the growing of the trees for the purpose, carbon sequestration is another one. There are again a lot of confusing numbers are there. Most of the time, carbon sequestration is told anywhere, everywhere, any number for the same species, without even accounting for, mostly carbon stocks are given. Now carbon stocks are given on what account? So a lot of scientific questions arise there. I think I urge that let us come out with a proper scientifically designed experimentation led numbers so that they can be used. And when I just saw that, yeah, we can do some quick analysis on 1.47 million schools in India. If CFI tries to implement its own community fruit plantation uh, program, we have a guideline that urban areas at least 400 meters square, the playground should be there. In hilly regions it is different, rural areas it is different. So the periphery, if we have fruit trees, we can have around 1 lakh kilometers, and 10 million mango plants can be planted. Just a rough estimate. If that is the thing, carbon sequestration at the rate of 50 kg per tree per year, it is like potential CO2 sequestration is 1.848 million CO2 tons equivalent of CO2. That much we can sequester just in by planting the trees on the periphery of the grounds of these particular schools. So how much it is? India emits around, Indian agriculture emits around 408 million tons of CO2 equivalent GHG emissions. So this looks very small effort, but we are not here targeting just about sequestration, but we are targeting mostly about making the fruits reach to the most needy. There's the school children. This also will help the green credit program, where the MYFCC has just now initiated. Carbon credits are there. I'm not going into again how much money you may fetch. Again, it has its own value chain. But there are also wastelands, then cultivable wastelands, fallow lands, panchayat lands. They all can be leveraged for community plantation. So, needless to tell that when you are having more of the horticulture crops, your income goes up. And the ICAR has projected a need for increase of the fruit plantation production increase by 2 times. And the drip irrigation can do wonders. As Dinesh told, I cannot stop talking about citrus. I also probably cannot stop talking about coconut. So coconut, that's what I told those days. Sir was there guiding us, and the western side of India is going to benefit because of the increase in some of the climatic factors with the same management, but on the eastern side it is going to be severely affected, and we see now it is happening. It's not a good thing that we told it is happening. We wanted to see even in eastern side also the production goes up, but unfortunately the adaptation is not meeting the challenge of climate change. So ecosystem based and One Health based adaptation is important. That's where we need to work, and we have several of the tools developed, simulation models developed in our lab. They are available to public use, and also some of them are being used in a global level also. And I think I'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naresh, for your excellent presentation and giving an insight on the climate change through the various model, also presenting how the horticulture will be affected through the climate change, also of the coconut. Thank you very much. One thing is there, I have the few points regarding models. Sometimes model developed, their interpretation is not correct. I was attending one of the international conference where the model was presented with the climate change and banana production. They said that South India will, after the 5 years, South India cannot grow banana. I questioned them, which is not true. Then they started, sir, it depends upon our base data. So if you take the base data wrong, then you interpret it wrong. So you have to be very, very careful while taking the base data. You can also add further. For example, I give you, in Haryana, the yield of wheat was plateaued. At the time Agrawal was there. He used to always present that this is the heat wave, and due to that it is reducing. The yield is plateauing and also reducing. Due to climate change, temperature has increased. So I said then we can compensate with the water, because what happens in the heat, I have understood fully well. What happens when that heat gets increased suddenly? Pollen of the wheat, they get dry, so they cannot pollinate. And if they have been pollinated, and if seeds are formed, they are developing, they will shrink. Ultimately, your loss of yield and decrease. So if you can provide that water that is recovered, and that's why I recommended at the time the use of a sprinkler irrigation. And after a sprinkler irrigation has come in Haryana, the yield has started increasing. So everywhere you have some solutions. So many times we just create a fear. So don't create the fear, give the solution. Thank you very much.